rails. Charlotte watched until there was just a smudge of steam on the horizon to mark the passage of the ship. Then even that vanished from sight. Looking around, Charlotte realized she was the only one left on the quay, and loneliness gripped her, a new and horrible feeling of being alone in the world. She breathed in the smells of the docks, the salt blown in by the fresh wind, the fishiness, the cold tip just beyond the quay. It was all foreign to her, and she wanted nothing more than to be at home among everything that was familiar. She picked up her bags, and with tears running down her cheeks and into her mouth, she made her way out of the docks and into the unfamiliar town, where people spoke with a strange mixture of accents, some Irish, some with a rich Liverpool twang, some Chinese. Liverpool was a place of rare colour and richness, of races mingling easily, all drawn by the industry of the docks. As Charlotte made her way through the grimy streets, beautified by the spring sunshine, she blessed Anthony's thoughtfulness in booking a room for her at one of the boarding houses a short way from the Docklands. Feeling weary and beaten, she was glad of his kindness and longed to shut herself away in private and cry her heart out. The boarding house was squat and ugly, but clean and respectable, and Charlotte had a room at the front of the building overlooking the docks, giving her a glimpse of the sea. She loved the sea. She had grown up close to the ocean, watched its ebb and flow while picking shells from the sand, teasing the clinging barnacles from the underbelly of beached sailing boats. But now, even the sea seemed like her enemy. It was forbidding and restless, and it had carried away the people she loved, leaving her empty and feeling so alone. The bell rang for dinner, and wiping her eyes hastily, Charlotte made her way down the narrow stairway, suddenly feeling hungry. The savoury smell of boiled ham floated up to Charlotte as she negotiated the narrow, twisting passage, so different to the small but elegant hall of the house she'd lived in with her father since her birth. "So, there you are, young lady." Mrs. Murphy spoke with the softness of the Irish lilt, a lilt Charlotte was familiar with. It was a language spoken in Swansea by the Irish folk who had come over the sea many years ago to make their home in Greenhill, just outside the town. Mrs. Murphy was a rotund woman swathed in a voluminous apron. She wiped her hands on it as she smiled at Charlotte. "All your kin got away safely by the grace of the Blessed Virgin, then?" Charlotte nodded, meeting her kindly eyes, but unable to stem the sudden tears that started to brim in her own. "Poor little chick." Mrs. Murphy held out her arms and drew Charlotte close, patting her back. "Cry, you darling. Cry it all out. It's only natural you'll miss your lovely family." She hesitated. "Are you sure you've made the right decision by staying here alone?" "I don't know," Charlotte said. "I don't know anything anymore." She gently drew away from Mrs. Murphy's motherly grasp. "Thank you for being so kind. When I've eaten, I'll get an early night. I must start on my way back home first thing in the morning." Charlotte ate sparingly, listening to the lively chatter that went on around Mrs. Murphy's well-laden table. Her appetite seemed to have deserted her now she was faced with a full plate. By the time she'd drunk the glass of wine the kindly Irishwoman had poured, she was so tired she had to force her eyes to stay open. Later, she was glad to fall into the clean but lumpy bed. Her head ached, but in spite of this and her loneliness, she slept well. In the morning, Charlotte bade goodbye to Mrs. Murphy, feeling she was losing her only friend, and began her journey back to Wales. She walked to the station with quick steps, anxious now to return to the little house that came with the job of teaching the children of St. John's Parish. She looked forward to seeing the kitchen, with its big window which looked out across the River Tower, to where the red rock copperworks lit up the sky at night, and fumes and smoke coloured the water red gold. The works had lots of chimneys, pointing like fingers to the sky.